Hey everyone, welcome to today's spooky adventure. Are you ready? Franco entered and sensed something wrong, recalling the body lying on the ground, but it suddenly sat up motionless, stunning him. Blog, an experienced expert, rushed over, joking, "It's called the Hell Sit." He found a key in the corpse's hand, decided to keep it, thinking it'd be useful. They joyfully sent it to rest with a casual farewell. At that moment, Lynn was intrigued by a nearby charm, and Blog teased, "This is the legendary anti-buried alive device. If you happen to be buried, you can use it to get attention." But then they followed the footsteps to the brother's first scene, where Blog looked up to see a long robe and a window, with a shadow passing by. Blog failed to notice, bent down to touch the bloodstains, and found the blood oddly damp. They bravely entered the monastery to uncover the truth. There, they encountered a nun in black veil, as if heading to a Halloween party. They explained their purpose, and the nun, like a comedian, told them to come back tomorrow. She said that after evening prayers, the doors would close, sealing in the bad days, and they'd have to wait until dawn to come back. Of course, prior to that, the monastery gladly let them stay overnight. Blog kicked Franco out without a word, as he was just a tour guide. Franco, left with no choice, trudged home alone when he bumped into another nun. The two locked eyes, creating an awkward yet funny moment. The nun turned and walked into the woods, and Franco thought, "This plot is too suspenseful." So he followed her without hesitation. He followed the nun to a spooky spot filled with crosses, but she had vanished. He looked around, panic-setting, and suddenly out popped the creepy red-green boy, making him shout, "Little son, him out here," sending Franco stumbling backward. The figure stood still amidst the eerie crosses, leaving Franco utterly perplexed. He turned around only to find the figure had vanished like a magician. To protect himself, he grabbed a cross. Frightened, he bolted from the place, while on the other side, Lynn whipped up a feast for Burke. The two chatted away, with Burke proudly announcing he was the chosen one sent to investigate Lynn's identity. Lynn replied she knew the protagonist too, saying she dreamt of future events as a child, making Burke wonder, is the protagonist a fortune teller? Though her dreams never repeated, they all had a weird commonality. See, at the end of her dreams, someone named Marie would point the way. Burke recalled a case he'd investigated in France, where a boy named Daniel had similar dreams. After some deliberation, Burke theorized that Daniel might have been possessed, so he decided to put on an exorcist show. But alas, after leaving, he got hurt. Oh well, what a tragic tale. When Burke returned to his room to rest, chilling radio sounds echoed from outside. He tried to trace the source of the sound, when a figure suddenly brushed past him, just like a scene from a horror movie. He turned and saw nothing, but through the window, spotted possessed Daniel from years ago. Upon following Daniel to the cemetery, the boy stuck out his tongue from afar, looking like he was just horsing around. And just like that, Burke got pulled into the chaos. Talk about bad luck. At that moment, his name was boldly etched on the gravestone. See what a spooky joke. Meanwhile, Lynn sensed something was off, woke up with a start, and grabbed a lantern to head downstairs. But she stumbled upon a fierce, vengeful woman who got too close for comfort, causing Lynn to bolt outside, with the sound of the cemetery bells ringing in his ears, calling to him. Realizing Burke might be in danger, he dashed to the cemetery at full speed. Upon arriving at the cemetery, the clamor of the bells surged forth with the overwhelming force of a tidal wave, rendering it utterly impossible for him to discern Burke's whereabouts. At this moment, he harnessed his superpower, closing his eyes tightly to concentrate on precisely pinpointing Burke's exact location. He grabbed a shovel to dig for rescue, but as he touched the coffin, a demon struck. See, talk about bad timing. Just in the nick of time, Lynn smashed through the coffin, and the demon fled like it saw a ghost, successfully rescuing Burke. Once he stepped outside, Burke was utterly astonished to discover that there were numerous books placed inside the coffin, and he thought to himself that these books might just be the crucial key to solving the mystery. At dawn, they arrived at the monastery only to find that the blood had increased, leaving them puzzled. Could this blood be breeding? They exchanged puzzled glances, but didn't think much of it before heading inside to seek answers. However, Burke, being a man, wasn't allowed in the monastery, so he grimly had to stay outside, ensuring Lynn's safety. Before Lynn left, he handed her the key, thinking, this key might just solve everything. Then he set off to find an unnamed Vonna. Bonner took Lynn to the back room. Franco, shaken, drowned sorrows at the bar. The bartender delivered shocking news that a 12-year-old girl had hanged herself in the ancient cabin. Talk about a blockbuster piece of news. He surmised that all this chaos stemmed from the monastery, as if some evil spirit was lurking around causing trouble. After hearing this, Franco glanced at a nearby shotgun, thinking, maybe it's time to solve some problem. Meanwhile, Buck was in the hall examining the previous night's books, discovering they contained numerous chilling details about demons. As night fell, the monastery closed its doors snugly, as if warning them that danger was imminent. At that moment, Lynn was chatting with Fauna, who slowly recounted the monastery's history, revealing it was built by a duke, preserving countless spells and rituals, all with the intention of summoning demons from hell, opening a gateway with human blood. At a critical moment, a mob of soldiers stormed in, swiftly ending the duke's reign, sealing the Dorsey, saving the last hope of the land. Through the ages, the nuns protected the monastery with countless prayers, trying to suppress the demons, but good times never last. A war swept into the monastery, blowing up the gates of hell, allowing demons to return to the world. Just like a comedy, the show began. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Perhaps next time you'll discover even more enchanting tales.